Welcome back to the channel. Well, anyways, back to RTI time. So I am having a friend of mine, he's gonna make me a wiring harness. He's made one already, or two or whatever, and he's not too expensive on it. So he's gonna make me a new wiring harness. We're gonna get it running again and make sure, actually I want to convert this thing to 12 volt. So I'm gonna put a 12 volt coil on here. We'll have to make this 12 volt, the regulator 12 volt, and these headlights, we're gonna make them 12 volt as well. We're gonna, he's gonna take care of these for me. We'll get the headlights working on this thing too, and hopefully he can run a wire, back here as well. And if we can find a spot for a tail light, that'd be nice too, or a flasher or something, or both. But yeah, I'll have to turn some more lights on in here. It's kind of dark. But anyways, what I want to do today is I bought a new sediment bowl for the tank. After I got it all cleaned out, I just pressure washed it and cleaned it out really well. I haven't taken the time to research finding lye, for the doing the whole electrolysis thing. I'm sure that works, but and then I remembered a couple videos ago, I couldn't remember what else I wanted to do with this tractor. Well, the governor needs attention, so yeah, we made a joke about that, remember? But anyways, because the last time I had this thing running, I could move the throttle and it wouldn't change my RPMs on the tractor. But I could walk over here and move this lever, on the side of the governor, and it would, raise and lower the RPMs. So yeah, that's something we need to remedy. Hopefully I can get that out all the way without removing this tank, but if I have to, that's what we'll do. Let's see, I can tell it's held on right there to there. I'll have to figure out how else this thing is fastened on here. Oh, kind of feels like it's pretty heavily, okay, right here. Looks like there's 2 bolts here, and I'm guessing there's 2 bolts over there. I know you can't see, but I can't really see. I was going by feeling. So we'll try it without. It's going to be close anyways. But yeah, so that's my plan. Put a new setup bowl on that. And then I really want to put an inline filter on this thing, just to help do, filter out any floaties and such. But I think I have a hose for this, don't I, somewhere? Thought I had one on it. Maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. Not with the Wishmandinger sitting right there. So okay, I'm rambling. All right, let's we'll get the tank. Let me clear a spot on the bench here, put some tools away, and yeah, let's get working. Okay. Phew. Brake parts cleaner. That stuff's hard on paint. Yep. All right. Okay. I'm gonna do a dry fit first, just to make sure this thing actually does fit in there. This one has a screen on it. I kind of like that. I just bought this one at a local, farm and home store that doesn't have tractor in its name, if you know what I mean. It seems like the other one that has tractor in its name doesn't have much of tractor parts anymore. So yes, this is what I want. Okay. I just got to make sure I have the right fittings on this end, which the old one is right here somewhere. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't need this. Yeah, I do. I need this part right here. Yep. This is off of a different one that I recently was trying to use, but didn't have the right gasket in there, so this one leaked. Okay, well, New gas line, set of a bowl, we'll call it a hybrid of a brand new one and a used one that I had. I used parts from each one. I put an inline filter in there as well, just because. Next thing I want to do, we're going to temporarily put the gas tank back on. Then we'll put some gas back in it. So we can start this thing up again, and then we'll do a little more troubleshooting on the Governor before I just yank it out. So, all right. There we go. Just had to get it just right. There, that one started. Well, if I got a new wiring harness coming, we'll maybe I'll replace some gauges here too, just so we know what everything's going on. Because right now, I'm pretty sure that's not accurate. I don't think we're charging at the minute. So that's a 5/8 wrench. Okay, here's my half. Okay, but the push button works, so that's nice. And this one is an on or an off. So, and I'm pretty sure this is the old push button. That's no good. But one of these is lights and one of these is choke down here. So, yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, let's throw some fresh gas in here. Oh, this jug, I should say, has this type of stupid spout thing on here. They're a joke. You know, you spill more with these darn things. But anyways, I like a screen. Anyways, this funnel, I think I got it for Christmas last year, has a screen in the bottom, so that kind of helps situations. So plus it is a lot faster. I'm gonna check, make sure I don't have any major leaks at the moment. So far so good. Let some gas into the center bowl. See what that does. All right, it's making it to the inline filter, which I wish I had the camera over there now. Oh well. I turn the gas back off. We'll put a few gallons in here. I want to tighten up this clamp too on the muffler. We'll call that good enough for the minute. A couple gallons for sure. Right. There's that. Put the top on. I don't think that's the right cap anyways. Okay. I know I want to change this thing over to 12 volt. It's got a 6 volt coil on it, and that's a 12 volt battery. But just for now, we're going to leave that alone. Oh, I want to tighten up that muffler, didn't I? Okay. That was a different tractor that was loose. Huh. All right. Let's set that there now. Okay. Well, we'll see if we got spark. That's on. Oh yeah, we got spark. I can see it. Okay, we're almost there. Oop, wrong one. This one. Okay. Well, this is the first time I've had it running off its own gas tank. Cold-blooded thing, that's for doggone sure. Wow. Cool doggetto, that's all I got to say. Alright, you see if I move this throttle, it doesn't change my RPM at all. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay. Well, runs good momentarily. I think this one needs a good carb cleaning as well. And we're going to change the coil out of there again. I mean, I shouldn't say again. This is basically a brand new, this is 6 volt. It should run better than this, but we'll clean the carb for sure. But that'll be easier to get to the governor anyways. But as you can see, the throttle response here, and it is hooked up because it's right here. It just doesn't do anything. So but let's see, unless that cable is, there's the temperature sending cable is going underneath here, but that doesn't have anything there's nothing there for it to play with, if you know what I'm saying, or getting in the way. So I'm thinking our governor has issues, and yeah, we'll get that out and look it over. I've got piles of those kind of governors around here, and yeah, we'll just swap that out. But we'll check it out and see what's going on with it. But that's just a good time to get everything out of the way. I'll get this coil out of this way, and yeah, this wiring needs attention here too. And plus, nothing's hooked up here. This is kind of the way I bought it. I didn't put this down. This tape's old, probably older than I am. But anyways, so yeah, that's next on the agenda. I wonder if that wasn't like it's supposed to be, because that kind of sounded like it was missing. I don't know, you guys probably agree. That feels better, but I don't know why it feels like it's bent. Unless it is bent. Let me stick you there. Let's look at this one. Ooh. Come on. Yeehaw. Yeah, it is bent. Okay. That's odd. Well, let's hook it up. Bend it back if we can without breaking the spark plug, because that would not be awesome. There. That's better. Okay. Let's put that back on there. Okay. That's better. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, well, I think we'll get the battery charger off now, and yeah, unhook the battery. Then I was just gonna look and see if this is actually a 12 volt already. First, it is a 6, because it should say 12 right there. Let me grab a flashlight. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's definitely a 6 volt. It does not say 12 volt on there, which that's what I assumed. That's why I put a 6 volt come on, brain, coil on here. But we're gonna switch it over to 12, and just so it starts better, then just everything seems easier. So for a second there, I thought this wire went right to the distributor, and like, that's not right. But no, it's a different wire. Wow, just look how much grease is on here. Must be this oil bath is leaking, going down on this pulley, then throwing it out everywhere. So yeah, we'll have to, I don't know if there's this just needs to be tightened, because this, yeah, that seems pretty loose there. So yeah, we'll have to fiddle with that too. Oh, and I want to put a new hose on here. I thought I had a hose, because this is different. I've said before, this is different than the Z series. It's the same shape, but these are a smaller diameter. It's a smaller carb. Let's see, what is it? Is it 497? Well, it could be a whole bunch of different carbs for these little guys. But anyways, TSX 97 is on a Z series, in like size, I should say. There's probably some other carbs out there that are on there, but it's got a different throat on their intake. So yeah, okay. So what's my next maneuver here? We'll get that. We'll get this carb off, and I'll give it a good cleaning, and then we'll get to that governor, and we'll get that hopefully taken care of. Yeah, that's something I kind of need. I want to be able to change the RPMs, and if we can't, that's just not very ideal. So especially getting certain situations. But okay, well, let's grab some stuff and we'll get that off. Okay, battery is unhooked. I don't think these are all none too tight here, so I can get these. I think this coil is okay. Just like I say, I want to go to 12 volt anyways. And we'll yeah, this wiring harness being so janky like it is, it could be shorting out somewhere too, causing issues as well. Even up, from the ignition to right here, to the coil, to the distributor, all that stuff. Electricity's funny sometimes. looser than I thought it was too. Here, let's see if I can get that right out of there. And we can work on it out here. Ooh, this baby's warm. Probably because I was running 12 volts through it. Okay, probably shouldn't do that. Okay. But I still want to get that carburetor out of the way. That way, it'll be easier to work on things. So, all right, there's that. Let's get this carb out of the way. Gas is already off, so I guess I can take this off here. And those are half. That's 5/8. I just happen to have those handy, I think. I hope. Let's put this up there with on the manifold, you know what I'm saying? Alright, that's just a bug. Don't like the way these are, but I really don't know a better way to do that. I don't like where this wire is at either. Seems like it should be down. Oh, it should go through that loom right there. Is my thoughts. What do I know, right? Okay, let's get the choke cable out of the way. I'm pretty sure I had this all apart when I got this tractor, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Glad to have it running under its own tank. To me, that's a big deal. So, all right. Inch. Can't wait. Well, tomorrow is opening day of our, it's November 15th. In Michigan, like I say, I've said before, it's a holiday. So, oh, Jake's home from work. Hopefully he had a good day. We'll find out. So, he comes over here and asks if I'm recording, I'll know. So, how his day was, but well, the boys are in the state semifinals tomorrow, so I have to go support them for that. What's up, buddy? How was your day? All right. Gasket's still good. All right. Had it running off its own gas tank. That's good. Yep. That's progress. So that's progress. Just looking inside. It doesn't look too horrible, but you know, we'll get in there and check it out. Poof. All right, should be 4 bolts to hold that on, but we're gonna need to get this one unhooked. Somebody's made a lock right there. I can see it. That's interesting. So maybe I should try to scrape some dirt out of there first. Yeah, this side, it moves freely, but it's got a little bit of play there, but all right. I'm guessing a socket would be the best to get all this out of here. Let's see if we can scrape some schmutz out of here. Some schmoo, as my friends at Area Diesel Service would say. I haven't talked to them in a little while, so, but I do have some work for them guys to do once I get to that point on the old 900 diesel. They're going to get the injectors to go over them and get them good. So, okay. Well, I don't know if that's the best spot for you or not. I'm gonna move some other stuff around and try to help out here. Get you right in the action here. All right. Now, why is that slipping on there? That isn't, oh, because somebody put a 5/8 in a 9/16 spot. Oop. You need to stay up there. Ah, sweet. There shouldn't be much oil here. Maybe a little bit, you know, on stuff, but the oil level should not be this high. But we're definitely gonna have to change the oil again. All right, I gotta put an extension on. Definitely want to do something different with this too. I might have to take this off with a wrench. Oh, I was working on my dad's, oh, the timing wasn't right. I didn't have my camera. I took the starter off his 8640 to get rebuilt. And if you ever worked on big four-wheel drive tractors like that, you know, it's kind of hard to get to stuff. You know, it's not like this. I can reach this from the ground. You know, there's so much higher in the air, and there's not a good spot to put your feet. And of course, you know, it's a starter, so there's a bolt where you can't hardly get to it. You know, that's when mechanics, you like to, you know, cuss out engineers for like, why would you do that? Why couldn't they do this or do that, you know? But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. So, I think part of the problem, maybe, I'm just assuming, you know, how you get when you assume. Anyways, you know, the people that make the motors and all that jazz aren't right with the people that make the rest of the tractor. So, you know, what could be worse would be, you know, a wholly different company, you know, say like Cummins, you know, made a motor for, you know, John Deere or whatever, which I know at one time that did happen. You know, then I could see why, you know, now that bolt is really in the way or really hard to get to, or you got to stand on your head or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, we still got to unhook this, but I'm hoping I can get it out a little bit farther, then I can get that unhooked. So, and I wonder if for some reason, because there's a lot of crap on here, if that has anything to do with their linkage, because it kind of needs, you know, there's some flyweights in there, and they go round and round and round, and then it's all on, it's kind of like a spring action kind of. So come on. Actually, I got a guy that's he's got one of my Governors. He was supposed to be bringing it back, and I told him I wasn't in a hurry. I don't know if that was here, I'd put it in there because I know it worked. So he had his rebuilt and wanted to borrow mine. So he lives right around the corner from Siegler Farms there, that, you know, if you ever watch Kip Siegler dairy farming, he lives not too far from them. So he's got a Moline or two. So at least two. Oh, actually, I've been to his place. I mean, I did a little video on his place. He had some bunch of sheep there, and he had that Jetstar. He's also got an R around there, and some Olivers, and Massey Ferguson. Sorry, a Ferguson, not a Massey Ferguson. You know, right there, I think it's a 40, and I believe it's a narrow front. but you know, right there before the transition time there. Yeah, if he showed up at that, I'd throw that one in here, but that's okay. Let's get this thing out and we'll check it out. This one's a whole lot easier to get to than the 206 series, or you know, the newer style engine Moline did when the the Governor is in the front there on the case. Okay, let's see if we can pull this baby out. This right here just does not want to move, man. All right, thought there was only 4 bolts there. All right, let me see if I can get something in there to pry that out. Okay, well, we'll get this Governor out now. Lots of yummies behind there. All right, ooh, she's a little windy today. It's Sunday afternoon. Boys had their ball game yesterday. Well, I don't have to worry about going to another game next weekend, if you know what I mean. So, all right, we don't have to take that tank off. And this is a whole lot easier now to get to this little bolt here, or nut, I should say. So let's get that off. And that looks like a 7/16 or smaller. Whew. Well, the boys played hard, but we're not victorious. It was a real close game until the very end, and yeah, a few mistakes, and you know, but the other team had a few mistakes in the first half that we didn't capitalize on. And well, when you get to that, this was the state semis, which is the Final Four, you know, and if you don't capitalize on the other team's mistakes, sometimes that'll bite you right in the butt, because you know, usually there's, you know, 2 really good talented teams there. So I'm going to say at the end, I believe the better team probably did win. And it was nice that, you know, it was a win, you know, or I should say it was a loss to a better team. Yes, we probably could have won if we'd have done, I don't want to say we've done things differently, but it's easy to, you know, look back and say, oh, you should have done this instead of this, or this or this. You know, you make a game-time decision. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. It's the same way working on, you know, tractors in a pinch here, you know, stuff like that. You know, you look back and, yep, could have done this and it'd have been different. But, you know, that's life. So you can't win them all, apparently. And then so anyways, well, all the guys played a good season. What I was trying to say was, you know, this is one you can't stereotypically blame the refs for losing. So that was nice. So that was nice. Okay. That should pop out of there. There it goes. It's starting. All right. Come on, baby. Just let go. Just there. Okay, cool. All right. Let's take it over to the bench and we'll look at it. I don't know if you can hear the wind outside, but it's kind of windy. Not just a little either. So, all right. Yeah, let me get these carburetors. Well, this is the one that goes on there. That's for a different project I was working on. All right. The gear don't look bad. I'm just thinking these that is awful stiff in there. She's kind of crusty in there. I wonder if it just needs a good cleaning. She's just trying to look at it. Look things over. It spins good, like that bearing's okay. but I'm just wondering. Okay, that part's fine. It's this part here. Let's I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit, then we'll tear into this side here, take the cover off and look at it, look it over. These are all flat screws. Let's see if we can dig the groove out real quick. Get some of the dirt out of there. How many have seen that coming? All right, let's try it again. That worked pretty good. Once I had everything stable. I think this one's gonna come right off too. Huh, that one broke, or was broken. Let's look at it. There's the washer. Yeah, it was partially broke off already. Okay, whatever. I'm probably not even gonna use this governor housing anyways, but let's take it out anyways. All right. Okay. Oh, yummy. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh man, that magnet really likes to hold. Look at all that schmutz. Wonder why the governor didn't work. Any guesses? Yeah. Okay. I think there's a spring right there in there, or something. There's something in there, but can hardly get to it. So, wow. Here. Yummy. Okay. Well, it definitely needs a good cleaning, but I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna put a different one on here. Anyways, I think this one could be cleaned up a little bit better. Let's spray some stuff in here. At least now that moves a little better than before. Take it out of here real quick. Oh, that's why I wouldn't turn. That's stuck in there. Now how does that get in there? All right. Okay, those are spinning. Okay, when that's spinning around, these are supposed to go out. That's part of the governor action. But this, I think that should be moved. There we go. There we go. Now let's just turn it. See, before, see how the flywheel, see now with the throttle linkage moving, you know, they stay stiff. But when you pull the throttle out, they move out, or allowed to move out. So what it does, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but when this lever is moved, which this is the throttle, but see, this isn't doing anything to there. Kind of want to take it all apart just to investigate everything, but I know it's so dirty, because this is the one, this is your adjustment here. Oh, man. But I know when I could move this lever by hand, you know, when I was on the tractor, and the RPMs would change like you're supposed to. So, but this one really, let's see, doesn't act like it's doing anything. That's got good spring on there. That part's okay. Is this, is that locks in there? Let's look at the book. Okay, well, here's another governor out of my part stash. This one, it's got a lot more. This one actually does something when I move this lever. As you can see, it moves this lever without me even touching it. So I'd say this is a good governor. Needs cleaned up. So let's well, it's even got the, ooh, that's kind of stiff though. Might have to change this rod here though. Look at this. Goes behind. I just want to look at this one. No, we're good. It's nice having parts. So yeah, and this one's a whole lot cleaner. We'll check out the part number, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same. I think this one's either out of an R or Z, but I think we'll use this one anyways. So you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, if I can get my light over here or get you into the light. This one's a whole lot cleaner. You can see the spring in there. You know, that's the one that does spring things. Oh shoot, there, you can see that spring in there. This one, I think we just need to clean it up a little bit. Loosen this linkage up a little bit right here and put something in there to help with that. But yeah, I think this one's a whole lot better. So yeah, I think we'll throw this one on, clean her up, we'll throw her on, and then this other one we know is a good core to be rebuilt. So, which you can, I believe you can still get all those parts. So all right, I just want to, because you want all your linkages to move very, very nice and free. So I think we better get that out at least. I don't want to break this housing, because that would not be good. Come on, baby. Guess I could have sprayed some this stuff on there. Oh yeah. Okay. Then I probably don't even have to take it all the way out. Oh yeah. Look at there. Does need a thing in there though. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to make a gasket too, because I don't think the gasket off the other one here is any good anymore. Okay. Try to keep some of the dirt out of here. I think I'm gonna throw this on without a gasket for now, or maybe with some Permatex or something on there, just temporarily. Either make a gasket or get one. I just want to prove my concept, because it ain't a real big deal to take that thing back off. And we're going to be working on this tractor for quite a while, because, or I shouldn't say quite a while, but some other stuff I want to do. We're going to put a new wiring harness on it, get the lights working. Not that I'm really going to be doing a whole lot of mowing at night or it's dark, but just you know, it's nice to have everything working. All right. Cool. All right. Okay, like I said, this is temporary. I'm just going to put some Permatex on here, and oh, at least I thought it was. I gotta clean this out. Probably. definitely going to change the oil on this thing again too, because I think it needs it. And it needs a good bath, but I got to wait for it to warm up a little bit again. Alright. Alright, let's just wait a second here. Trying to get this. Let's pull it back out. I'll put the nut back on here real quick. Alright, well, sounds like I got some visitors coming today, that's not a surprise. I've got a couple project tractors leaving, so not a big deal. I still need to tighten that up. I gotta grab another 3/8 or something in there. Oh. Okay, well, I had some people stop by, which was not unexpected. But anyways, so yeah, that Governor is on there. This one should be a real good one. So, and I do have, I was gonna see, does this have a, okay, I do have to put a pin in there. Okay, I gotta do that yet. And then this one already has a pin, so we can do that too. I'm just thinking out loud. And I did order a wiring harness for this tractor. We are gonna convert it to 12 volt. We're going to actually have this generator converted to 12 volt. We can do that. This will get replaced. We'll put a 12 volt coil on eventually here, you know, when we do all that. But my plan here is I want to get this tractor. I'm going to clean the carburetor here real quick. Again, we'll get it running again, get it out of here, of course, put the hood on, get it out of here, bring the next project in while I wait for this wiring harness. And when that wiring harness gets here, then we'll bring it back in and put it all on. So that's the plan. It's getting, you know, the weather is turning, you know, below freezing here again. So I don't think we'll be doing any washing anytime soon. I know this tractor needs a good wash, but that's the way it is. But yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the carb. It's right over here. I had something else I had to do. Take the torch out. Made a battery cable for my dad. All right. I don't know if I should grab a couple pieces of paper towel here. Blue towel. Set this down when we tear this baby apart here. Again. That's all right. Doesn't hurt to go clean through this. So, Okay. Well, Nicholas bagged another buck. Actually, I got one the second day. So we should not be going hungry this winter. So deer season was good for us so far. So I think that'll be 7 deer. Yeah. So that's, yeah, some good eating. So, you know, when I've been getting some comments about my cornfield, you know, back here, you know, why am I brush hogging my corn? It's all for the deer. And one guy commented about, you know, it's a poor stand of corn, which I totally agree. If I was trying to try to make money, or if I was hoping to make money off of that, I would be very disappointed. So, you know, my ground here at the, you know, where I live is extremely sandy, and, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, I was pretty tickled pink the way that corn grew. Just, you know, this ground is not very good and conducive, you know, to growing bumper crops. But anyways, it's good enough for the deer. It's totally for the deer. So, yeah. Okay. Let's get back to this task at hand here, which, you know, a lot of you know that you've been with the channel. You know, I said that was all for the deer when when I planted that. So, all right, she's actually quite clean. Let's see if I can get this gasket off without ripping it. I should have another one around here anyways. Yeah, there we go. We'll just do that. Just like so. All right. Well, let's do some cleaning here. It doesn't look that bad. And the gas smells like gas. So, all right, let me go dump this. Got an oil thing here somewhere. Yeah, it's good and clean. Okay. Don't forget the needle. Kind of important. There we go. All right. Alright, let's get her thrown back together. I'm going to see if I can find rebuild parts for this Governor. And maybe we'll do a video on rebuilding that Governor. That'd be fun. Maybe. At least for me. All right, there's half, 1 1/2, and just a skosh more. All right, let's get this thing back. Oh, you know what? I want to put a pin in there before I forget. Let's do that. Okay, pins in the throttle shaft, or you know what I'm saying. That's the one that goes to the. Oh, that's right. I gotta order a hose for this. I don't think I have a hose for the the carburetor, the air breather. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Let's put this hook this up first. A whole lot easier to do it now than later. All right. Let me grab a screwdriver, needle nose. There we go. All right. Now we hook this back up. Awesome. Well, if I can get this thing running, I'm just going to get it run. I'll leave it in here for the time being. I got to decide what I'm bringing in next. I'm kind of thinking about working on Nemesis. Get that tractor better. Because that one I can, in case you're wondering, that's the yellow 950. I'm going to adjust the timing on the pump. And I got another issue with that. I ordered parts. Yeah, and I've got what appears to be way too full of crankcase and it's not water, so it's fuel. So I'm guessing my umbrella seal is not performing like it should be. So we'll have to get that taken care of. This is too big to fit on there. Yep, it is. That's all right. It is what it is. Those are cheap, so we'll get those. Get that replaced. We'll have to change the oil on that again. That's never a cheap thing, so it's all right. Life goes on. But I got to clear out a little better spot in here, because that tractor's a whole lot wider and a whole lot longer than this one. So but it's been right here before. It'll go back in here again. So I should continue. I'm gonna change the PTO brake in the 900 diesel. Get that done. That way I can put the hydraulics back on. So all right, there's that. Let's hook up the gas line. A little bit sticky there for some reason. All right. Still gotta hook the choke up. I gotta grab a battery too. I think that's just sitting outside, so we can get that all taken care of. All right, there's that. Get this out of the way. Oh, that's right. I gotta put the. Let's see. Here's the choke. Straighten this out a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay. You kind of need to. It's too much wire on there, if you know what I'm saying. There we go. Okay. Tighten this one up. All right, let's throw the coil back on. Which wire? Here. All right, we're gonna make this negative ground for now. Just for now. Yeah, this wire is not very good either. Yeah. Alright then. I was gonna grab a 12 volt coil, and I forgot to do that. That's alright. We're only gonna run this thing temporary today anyways. We'll change this again. Come on, get on there, you. Okay. Yeah, I know this is a 6-volt coil, so that's all right. It's only temporary. Okay. Okay, like I said before, this is just proof of concept here of see if the governor works now. So, all right, probably should choke it, I'm guessing. Man, there. All right. Okay, let's see what happens. Come on, Betty Lou. Something sticky there on the governor. Look at that. Yeah. One of them is. I wonder if it's my pin. Could be. Okay, let's try it again. I don't get it. Why is that not moving at all now? So now, on, baby. Timing might be an issue. At least. All right. We'll shut her off for now. Okay. Well, it's not perfect, but it's definitely had progress now. At least now the governor is working. Yeah, I'm a little bit happier about that. I think once we get all this wiring sorted out and a lot better than where it's at now, you know, we got a lot of bare wires. You know, there's one right here. You can see her on that coil. That one's not awesome. This one has a 0 coating on it. The other wire here, you know, we've got issues. So yeah, I think the governor is working now, but now I have timing or wires, because these wires here are all new. The spark plug wires, they need to be in the loom, but they're not. But for now, they're okay. So I think in another week or so, we should have the new wiring harness. I want to get this tractor out though. I don't know if I'll be doing it today or not. But definitely. So the governor's changed. So you know, I'm happy about that. Baby steps. We gotta shut the gas off. These old girls, gotta shut the gas off on sometimes, because you know you have issues. You come back and you got gas all over the floor. So, all right, where's that at? All right, sweet. Yep, neat little tractor. Neat little tractor. Okay, well, this might not be the ending that I wanted, but it is still, you know, not bad. But I think the combination of, you know, it's got a 6-volt coil on there. That's probably not doing me any favors either. Is this the tractor that I need a dust cover for? Let's get that figured out real quick here. 'Cause there's no, I think this is the one I don't have to, yeah, I don't have a dust cover in there. So that's another thing too. So, all right. Okay, so we need to get one of those for these. So I should be able to do that. Okay, all right. Dust cover, coil, wire and harness. So, okay, well, we're coming along. I think we are going to cut it here. It's probably been quite long. I've been working on this a little bit over the last few days, actually. So, yeah, we'll come back to this, circle back to this one once that wiring harness gets here. And, yeah, we'll get this thing running tip-top shape before spring. So I'm hoping, because it's getting kind of, you know, late in the season for, you know, going to do anything with the sickle bar part, I believe. But, all right, well, might not be the ending that you were hoping for, but it was not too bad. I got that governor changed, and like I said earlier, you know, if I can find the source of the parts. I don't know if Walters has these or Mike or whoever's got these, but we definitely need to clean this one up. You know, if we can go through this. The drive gear looks just fine, but other than that, you know, the linkage is all right here. But I know what, maybe this thing just needs a good cleaning. Gotta get that broken stud out of there too. But so I think this thing's already working better than it was, but still not perfect, if you know what I'm saying. But we'll get that cleaned up, and you know, maybe in a future video we'll rebuild that, and yeah, that'd be neat. I mean, hopefully somebody would get some value out of that. I think I would. But all right, well, appreciate watching. We'll see you in the next one.